Stop making yourself so accessible. Stop making yourself so accessible. What do I mean by that? Some of you feel like as soon as you get a text message, you have to respond right away. Some of you, as soon as your phone rings, you have to run to answer it. When you get an email, you have to respond to it right away. Instead of implementing, I will get back to this person within 2 business days. Okay? Same with the phone, same with the text message. If no one is dying, okay? If there is no emergency, and by the way, just because a person has an emergency does not make it an emergency for you. Okay? Stop making yourself so accessible. And this actually ties into the video that I did the other day about saying no. Some of you say yes too quick instead of stopping and pausing and saying, do I need to respond to this message right away? Do I need to answer this phone right away? If I feel like I need to answer right away, why? Is it because I feel guilty? I would feel guilty if I don't. Is it because I feel an obligation to this person that is reaching out to me? Is that why I feel like I just need to make myself accessible? Some of you all have done that, and you have trained people to place you as the first point of contact for everything. For everything. And now you're upset. Now, every time when the phone rings, when you get a text message, your first thought is, as you're answering, why am I always the first person that's called? Why am I always the first person that these people are reaching out to? Again, you're fussing this like this in your mind, but you're still answering. What would it take for you to not be so accessible? What would that look like? What would that look like for you to hear your phone ringing, you see the phone, and you let it ring? What would that look like? How would that make you feel? What would that look like if you see that you're getting a text message from someone, or that you've received a text message from someone, regardless of what the message is, it doesn't matter. You see it there, and and you say, I'm going to wait before I respond. I'm going to wait. What would that look like? How free would you feel in your mind? How freeing would that be for you with your time? Some of you, I suspect, are going to be afraid to do that because of the individual. I'm not saying that you're afraid of the individual, but some of you make yourselves accessible and readily accessible because of the, you could say, position or title that a person has in your life. But are you the only person? Are you the only person in this individual's life that they can call, that they can text? Are you the only person? Really think about it. Are you the only person? And you may be saying, well, actually, yeah, I am the only person. Well, who can you now get to support you? Who can you call on? Who can you call on to say, hey, I need some help with this. I have, perhaps, let's say in the extreme scenario where you are the only person of contact for this individual. You're the closest one in proximity to this individual because of geographical reasons, or we can go on down the line, which I won't. So you respond, okay? Okay, you respond to the call, you respond to the text message, you see what this person needs. Well, who can you call on to ask for some support, to ask for help, to say, hey, this person is asking me to do this. Would you be available to assist? Who can you call on to ask for help? Who can you call on to ask for support? I think we need to do more of that. And I think when we hear people say things like, oh, well, I don't like to ask people for help, or I don't have a support system, or I don't have friends, that is a sign of emotional intelligence, by the way. If you're walking around the earth talking about you don't have friends, that's not a flex. But that idea and that messaging and that consciousness, it feeds into you not asking for support, okay? And you may be saying, well, the person that's contacting me is asking for support all the time from you. There's no one else. That's what I'm talking about. Nobody else but you. You have to start to guard your time, and you start to ask yourself, why have I made myself available? You have to start to ask yourself, what patterns have I displayed where people think I am the first point of contact? Are you the first one to jump up when someone needs help? If there is some type of event happening, let's just say a family event happening, are you the first one to jump in and say, oh, well, I'll do it, whatever it is? Oh, I can do that, whatever that is. Are you the first one, if you're sitting around at a table, someone needs some help, are you the first one to jump up from your seat, to leave your plate, to stop eating and help everybody? Are you the first one to do, are you the one that has been known to do that? I remember a while back, someone, and this was years ago, it was, and I think it was actually a family function. Someone said to me, oh, you know what? And they thought that they were complimenting me, and they didn't mean anything by it. They were actually just making an observation. They said to me, oh, you know what? Every time I see you, you're always working. You're always taking care of other people. And I paused. I said, oh, okay. But that left me with something. And I thought, why? And it actually bothered me. I thought, yeah, that's not exactly what I want to be known for. Is to always doing for other people. No, I don't want to be known for that. Society has made us think that that is a flex. That you always doing for other people, or quote, serving other people, making yourself available to other people is a flex. Society says that validates you, or that is a measure of your worth as an individual. The level of your worth, the measure of your worth is tied into how much of yourself you can give to other people. No, it is not. That is an entire lie. And that stuck with me. Now, did I change my patterns? Did I change my pattern of behavior right then? No, because at that point, I'd gotten used to being that. I'd gotten used to being so accessible and available to help. But I had to break that over time. I had to break that behavioral pattern. And now I have no problem sitting back and enjoying and knowing that I do not have to be the first person to jump up and do something for other people. I'm not the first person that needs to jump up and go find an extra place setting for somebody at a table. I'm not the first person that has to get up and help someone sit down or stand up. No, I'm not the first person to do that. And I will tell you, there is a lot of times, if you are the oldest child in your family, if you are the oldest woman, oldest daughter, a lot of times we have that behavioral pattern that we need to break, that we need to work through. So I want you to just think about what I've said, and think about the questions that I posed to you earlier, where I said, I'll repeat them. I said, what would that look like if you stopped making yourself available? What would that look like if you decided, you know what, I'm going to give myself time to respond. I'm going to give myself time to answer any phone calls or respond to any messages or call people back. I'm going to give myself the space to do that. The next time I'm at a family function, I'm not going to be the first person to get up to help anyone. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the event, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be, it could be anything. But I'm going to sit back, enjoy my food, enjoy my drink, enjoy sitting and being. I'm going to enjoy myself. And I can enjoy myself without making sure everybody else is okay. So go through that exercise. And by the way, thank you for watching and listening to another episode of Tamu Chronicles, saying the quiet parts out loud with a lot of attitude, with a lot of sarcasm daily.